This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. A massive thank you to the guys over at EA for giving me an early access code to present some early content to you guys. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are doing another F1 22 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about and showing off some of the new features, including the safety car features, the new pit lane features, as well as the formation lap features. We'll be looking through all the immersion features of all those three, as well as doing all the broadcast features. So we'll be doing two races today in today's video. In the first race, we'll be doing all the immersive features. So as you can see, right now we're doing the formation lap in immersive mode. So you'll be able to, warm up your tires and that. And then in the later on in the video, we'll do another race, which will be fully broadcast. So all the formation laps, all the pit lane stuff, all the safety car, that will all be in the broadcast. And in this bit of the race, we'll be doing the immersive features. So as you go through the video, you'll see all the new features that are going to be in the game, and you can also have a look at all the like how the new Imola track looks as well. But as you can see here, we're lining up on the grid to start off the first race, and the first thing you'll notice at the top is there is a new marker for how you can line up on the formation lap. That's one of the new things that I've added to this game. So last game, of course, over the last few years, you haven't been able to actually manually do the formation grid. It's all done by the AI, so to speak. So in this one, we're going to try lining up first time, and oh, look at that, I instantly failed. That's my first ever time doing that, okay? That's my defense. But we do flashback it, we'll do it again, and can we get it optimal this time? Yes, we can. Beautiful. All on that purple. We love to see that. But yeah, it's a really cool feature, this. It kind of allows you to be a bit more manual on it. It gives you the chance of, actually lining up on the grid yourself and putting your car in a position where you want it to be as well. You can face it towards maybe the right-hand side of the track a little bit, try and cut off the guy to your right if you're on pole position, for example. We've seen Max Verstappen do that a few times over the last couple of seasons when he's on pole position. I remember that in Monaco, if I remember correctly, in 2021, where he sort of angled his car to right a little bit. So you can actually do stuff like that. You can position your car, be a bit more strategical on how you want to start your opening lap of the race. But as you see, we don't get off to a great start even if we do that. We tried to angle the car a little bit to the right. We didn't get off to a good start until Verstappen clears us on the right-hand side there. And there's a few bumps and scrapes and a lot of bashing and crashing behind us there as well. So I think there might be a little bit of wing damage to the guys behind. But no safety car yet from what we can see, as Verstappen and Sainz going too wide here, and they're a little bit slow on the exit. Can we try and find a way past? No, we can't. Yellow flags are out. Could we see the safety car here? Could we be showing off the features? Not quite yet. No safety car just yet, but Verstappen has an awesome start to the race. Went from 4th to 2nd in the opening lap, so really good job from him. As now Lewis Hamilton looks down the inside of us. We have to leave him a little bit of room, but we do get the exit, and now we can chase down Carlos Sainz down towards Zach Nerale, but Carlos Sainz will keep that position over us for the time being. So yeah, really like that new formation lap feature. It's really nice to have that sort of, that manual effect in the game. Have a bit more to yourself. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed with this year, I have to say, is the pit lane feature. We'll see that very soon. As we get the green flags coming out now all of a sudden. Could we be seeing the safety car here? Let's see what happens. There it is. We have our first safety car over the race. Valtteri Bottas involved in an incident. And we get the yellow flags out. We get the safety car. And as you see here, we'll box this lap, and we'll be able to actually do the somewhat manual pit stop, which is what I was saying a little bit earlier, how I was a little bit disappointed with it. You'll see what I mean. So we enter the pit lane here. Of course, this bit is still manual. Going into the pit lane itself, you can do yourself, but as you get into the pit lane, this bit here is all manual, and then when you get towards the pit lane area, you'll see a button. Our button is number 1. We're going to press that on cue, get the purple, and as you can see, the estimated stop time will be 2.3 to 2.7 seconds. So if you don't do as well on your reaction timing with that, then of course you'll get the red or you'll get a different color, and it will be a slower pit stop. Purple, of course, is the optimal, so that's the best pit stop you can get. But the other thing I was kind of questioning to myself is I wonder if we're going to get sort of sub 2-second pit stops, because of course IRL there's been a lot of changes to the how the pit stops are timed and things, and there's been a lot of regulation change with pit stops as well. So pit stops have actually been sort of slowed down by 2 or 3 tenths over the course of the season. I remember, I think it was from Belgium last year, was it, when that rule came into effect. But yeah, I'm interested to see if that kind of rule change, so to speak, has been sort of implemented into the game. Are we going to get those more consistently slower pit stops, or are we going to get those sub 2 seconds? Of course, if you do career modes and stuff like that over the last year or so, you'd know that you do get the sub 2 seconds, but they are quite difficult to get, of course. Very difficult to get. We are going to get the safety car in this lap, on lap 4. Safety car dives into the pit lane, and away we go. Can we get past Sonoda early on? We've gone into the medium tyres to finish off this race. We're going to try and go the full 12 laps on them. Can we get past Yuki Tsunoda? I think we're a little bit too far back here, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait for our chance a little bit. And later on in the lap, we might have a chance going to turn 1 here. Let's have a look. Yuki Tsunoda, a little bit slow on the exit, of course. He didn't pit. He's sending the soft tyres. So can we try and take effect of that? We're getting that slipstream, using up a lot of ERS here as well. We've got a decent enough gap to Hamilton to be able to hold him off into turn 2. I think we're still a little bit too far back, are we? Let's have a look as we go down towards our braking point. Yeah, way too far back. But as you can see ahead of us, Zhou and Alonso getting very caught up there. And there's a bit of wing damage for the Spaniard there too, as we try and close up towards him. And Zhou's going to try and go down the inside. Yeah, please don't do that, Zhou. And, oh dear. Oh dear. This is what simulation damage will do to you, though. We got a tiny bit of contact from Alonso, and it completely ripped off our front left end plate. Of course, the actual model of the cars have changed a lot. You can see we're a lot slower going through there. Make sure we don't hit the contact Alonso this time. But of course, the models of the cars have changed a lot. I remember we were given access into like an interview type thing or a press release, and the developers were saying that changing the models of the car and the handling models to fit it to how it is in real life was probably the most complicated thing they've had to do. Understandably, of course, as well, because there is a lot to change. You know, the styles of the car have changed so much. Of course, if you take a screenshot of this game, for example, and compare it to last game, you can really see the actual changes that have been made to the car itself, and not just to the liveries or anything like that. But for this, it was a very quiet race from that last lap, from, what was it, lap 6, 7, whatever it was, onwards. We're on lap 15 now, and nothing happened in that time. We took the lead of the race, and we just went in cruise control. We were in our own land, really, having a wonderful time. So I thought I'd give you guys a little look at the cockpit view this year for those who are interested in maybe starting in it or are looking forward to trying out this year. I haven't changed any settings for the cockpit view either. I've left it completely as default, so of course you can edit these however you want to, as you always can. But yeah, the cockpit view does look quite nice as well. Of course, the different views sort of get in that cockpit view is you can sort of see the wheel fenders, you know, the bits on the side going over the wheels. You can see them a little bit more, and I was a little bit pessimistic about having these in the in F1 this year. I didn't really like the look of them, and they. I also thought, from a driver's perspective, it's a little bit difficult to see your actual tyre condition with that in the way, but to be fair, looking at it from cockpit view, it doesn't actually seem too bad. That was one of the worries I had. The drivers wouldn't be able to really see the wear and tear on their tyres, but like I say, it's not really too bad, to be honest. You can see the back of the tyre, which I guess is the most important thing. So drivers can still really judge their tyre wear just from looking at that. But yeah, there's the cockpit lap for you on lap 15. We're going to finish off this race in just a moment's time. You'll see in a moment that we'll also get the new celebrations that I'm sure you guys have seen from either my videos or someone else's videos, whatever else. But these are the new celebrations, so I'll let you guys enjoy this for a little moment.
Yes, you've done it! You've done it! Well done! Great stuff, mate! Great stuff! Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé then. What a fantastic race.
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
So there you go, there is the new celebration features, and I do love them. They are so cool to look at. And when Charles Leclerc was walking through the digital boards on the sides, it was really, really cool. So, yeah, nice little implementation there. But this is race 2. Like I said, we're doing 2 races. We're going to do the first one's Immersive, this one is Broadcast. And we're underway for the formation lap here in the second race. We're racing as Carlos Sainz this time. So sticking with our Ferrari genes, but racing as the teammate of Charles Leclerc. So, but yeah, I really do like these.
Drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring their planned strategies are all in place.
Sorry, I wanted to let the commentator speak for a second there. I like that as well. I really like how you get a bit of commentary over the formation lap and stuff. That's a really, really nice feature. It kind of feels a little bit more immersive in that sense as well. Of course, if you watch the Silverstone video, you know you can change the commentator, of course. So if you're wondering why I have Alex, that's why. You can change the commentators between David Croft and Alex Jacks, and we opted for Alex Jacks this time round. So, but yeah, you get a little bit of highlights from the formation lap, and everyone will line up, as you can see from the back there. There's a McLaren lining up last this time round. A little bit realistic. And then we'll be away for lap 1 in 5 red lights. And off we go. Can we try and get a good start here? It's a little bit loose off the line, but we do keep that traction. Not too much wheel spinning, and we are away. We got actually a nice launch there, didn't we? It was a little bit slow off the line, but we got through the gears superbly, and we did manage to stay ahead of the entire pack. It's almost 3 wide. Look at that bit of contact between Russell and Verstappen. I think that was there as well. So they didn't get off the line too well at all, but yeah, like I say, I'm a really big fan of these broadcast features. I think it gives you a bit more option about what you want to do, you know. It also goes for the race a little bit quicker, of course. Like I say, you've got the little bit of highlights in the formation lap, and it's the same for if you have a safety car. When you get a safety car, we'll see that later on. Actually, right now we'll see that as Nicholas Latifi retires from the session on the opening lap. As you'll see, we'll catch up the safety car here, and then you will see at the top, the AI takes control in 3, 2, 1, and then the formation lap, or the safety car broadcast aspect kicks in, and you'll see all the little, you'll see the entire leaderboard on the left, you've got the safety car at the top left, the actual graphic, and you get Max Verstappen, of course, in second place there as well, the little graphic in the bottom right. So it really does give you a nice little sort of immersion into, you know, you watching the race. So the only downside here is here, of course, you can't really warm up your tires or anything like that. I do think they stay to a set temperature. Safety car still stays out here for another lap, so that's what we're getting right now. But yeah, like I say, the only problem with the broadcast option is you can't warm up your tires and stuff like that. So they're going to be set to a default temperature when you restart the safety car. But yeah, it's a really, really cool feature. I'm a really big fan of it, and hopefully this sort of thing can be sort of built on for future games and things, because it's a very, very nice aspect to have. As a safety car is now ending at the end of lap 3, so it's a 2-lap safety car. Latifi was the one who retired from the session, and are we going to go back to our car in just a moment's time? I think we're going to. Here we go. AI returning control then, and we are going to be away to start lap 4, sorry, of 16 this will be. Safety car heading into the pits this lap. And we're going to lead the grid around once again with Verstappen, who'll be wanting to try and chase us down into our turn 1. Can we get the launch here? A little bit of wheel spinning as we try to get away, but we do get away decently enough. We use a little bit of ERS trying to push our way towards turn 2 as well, and Verstappen will not be close enough this time round at least to attack us. Or will he? That's a little jink to the left there, but no, too far back to make the move, and he goes a little bit deep there as well. Max Verstappen, he loses a lot of time from doing so, and look, might be able to attack him, but doesn't. Lap 5 now of this race, and look how close Verstappen is now. And Mark Priestley tells us that the track condition might be good enough for intermediates, and I say, you know what? Let's do it. We're going to head on to the intermediates. We're going to box this lap, and we'll be able to have a look at the new pit stop feature as well. And this, we got a little bit wide there as well. Whoops. Don't want to be doing that too much, as Verstappen will be taking any advantage he can from that as we head into the pit lane. Get down to the pit limit speed with that, and there we go. Broadcast option is open now for our pit stop, and we're going to head into the pits. Let's see. Tires coming off. Looks a little bit slow, doesn't it? And we head away, and it's a 2.8 second pit stop. And there you go. A little bit of commentary for the pit stop as well. There's not really a lot of commentary for the pit stop, I've got to say, unfortunately. But it's very, very cool to have it. Very cool. It's something that kind of like we've been talking about a little bit on the streams over the last year or two as well. Whether, you know, I think it's a feature that we've wanted for a long time on the game as well. You know, we've been speaking about it on the streams the last year or so. We always had the idea of, you know, maybe being able to watch the replays or watch the highlights of the race after the race or something. And then sort of, you know, be able to hear a bit of commentary over it, something like that, as we get a few people boxing now. We came out quite further down the grid, but there was a lot of people who didn't pit for intermediates at this stage of the race. A lot of people on the wet tyres as we now chase up to our teammate Charles Leclerc, who got a very nice undercut here. And as you can tell there, Lando Norris has a mechanical issue, and he's ahead of Daniel Ricciardo at the moment. So, could we catch up to the two McLarens very soon? Ricciardo is the one behind Lando Norris, so he's going to get held up a little bit here as we chase him down towards the hairpin. Leclerc now gets stuck behind the two. Look how slow they are coming out of that corner. There is no way that we won't be able to get past these guys. Leclerc will be hunting. Can he go down the inside? Then Ricciardo here. He moves a little bit late, doesn't he, Ricciardo? But does leave the room, and Leclerc dives down the inside. There's nearly a little bit of contact between the two. Can we try and find a way past the two? No, not enough room for us, so we have to back out of this one, try and find another way around as Leclerc now tries to attack Lando Norris down towards the chicane, but we get a nice run of Ricciardo. We move to the left-hand side, we go wheel to wheel, down towards that chicane. Leclerc moves to the left of Norris as well. It's Ferrari attacking McLaren, and Ferrari attacking McLaren here. We keep that left-hand side, just enough room to keep us off that curb, and we do complete that move. Hamilton also steams past Ricciardo very easily as well. Leclerc, sorry, got past Norris too. So lots of positional changes happening in the wet weather here. But interestingly enough, the AI thought that the wet tyres would serve them well. So Andreas Seidel deciding not to pit his two boys and keep them out in the wet tyres, probably for the entire race, I assume. But we get past the inside of Lando Norris here, leaving a little bit from the exit, but easy to light really on that one. A little bit too deep, but we do hold it together. And now we move up into 7th place with Charles Leclerc ahead of us. Now look who we got in front of us. We've got Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly, also both of those drivers on the wet tyres. Now Charles Leclerc looks to the left-hand side. Gasly just leaves a little bit of room as they go side by side, wheel to wheel, down towards the two Ravazza corners. We're going to try and allow it a little bit. And as you can hear there from Mark, don't mind. As you can tell from Mark there, we've got 10 more minutes to this race and only 6 laps remaining. Are we going to see any dry weather in this race? It's going to be a tight call. But we're going to try and look to the left-hand side of Pierre Gasly now. He leaves a tiny bit of room, and we're going to squeeze our way past, and we'll be up into P6 as Charles Leclerc also gets past Lance Stroll as well. Now, can we try and find a way past the Canadian? A little bit of oversteer coming through turn 4 there, and we're now hunting him down as we look towards turn 5, but not quite going to be there, is it? And once again, in that same corner, we make a little bit of contact on our front wing, and the entire thing just obliterates. Simulation damage this year is brutal. It really is brutal. So we have to try and be a little bit more cautious on Lance Stroll here again. And then we can try and squeeze past on that right-hand side, round the outside of the hairpin. Lovely little move this, if we can try and pull it off. A little bit of oversteer, but we keep the car intact, and we move up to 5th place. Now, Kevin Magnussen is the one in 3rd place, as a lap later, Charles Leclerc will go side by side with Magnussen. Just about squeezed way past. Magnussen goes a little bit deep. We try and steam past him, and look at that. Leclerc slips as well. We move to the left-hand side of Charles Leclerc into Aquamarale, and that, out of nowhere, is P3. I'm sure Bonotto was gritting his teeth watching that unfold. And now we've got Guan Yu Zhou, and then look who's in P1. Max Verstappen is in P1 by 20 seconds. So he obviously opted not to pit, and Verstappen leads this race by 20 seconds on the wet tyres. So we've got 3 laps as we steam past Guan Yu Zhou to try and catch Max Verstappen. Are we going to be able to do that? The simple answer is no. We gained 11 seconds on him, but nothing really happened in those final 3 laps. We kept getting the time, but ultimately Verstappen sort of had this wrapped up, really, didn't he? And he crossed the line to win the second race for ourselves there. But we finished second, so it's not all too bad. We won the first race, finished second in the second one. All in all, not too bad. So there was a nice insight into a bit of gameplay for you guys as well as the broadcast and immersive features that you get under the formation lap, safety car, and pit lane. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the F1 22 content today, please make sure to drop a like on the channel. Share your comments as well on what you think of the game. Make sure to also subscribe to YouTube as well if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell for any future content too. Whether I'll be able to get another F1 22 video up or not will remain to be seen at the moment. The early access embargo ends very soon, so I don't know if I'll be able to get another video out in time. However, it will open up again next month. So if I don't get any up over the next week or so, there will be some in June for sure when the embargo reopens. So like I say, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you are new around here, make sure to leave a like on the channel, leave a like on the video, sorry, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Feel free to hit me up on Twitch as well. We're live there every day other than Tuesday and Saturday, 5 UK time. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys very soon in the near future. Take care.